Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grigsby's War in the East as we continue. So we are now at episode 82, which is rather impressive to say the least. And I want to start this one by taking a look at the infrastructure network. Now, we do have a good few connections now, better than we started with in 1941. Though we are coming out to 1943, really, so we do need to look at strengthening the network, most especially strengthening the network. Right, the 27th Panzer Division, it should not really be going down that way. That's not going to work for them. So they're going to have to go around. Either way. So there's damage to the rail grid over here. Which is neat to have a lot of backups in the actual rail lines. These lines over here need to be connected. Are these being worked on? They are being worked on, which is superb. We do have the vast majority of the 18th and the 16th Army to redeploy. We also have elements of the two Panzer armies over here that we do need to redeploy as well. Though we might have them sent for refit and possibly held as reserves. Though, in all honesty, I don't think the Red Army has enough manpower to even throw some kind of offensive. I mean, this is pretty damning. The difference in artillery is really stacking up as well. I mean, this is not just actual artillery pieces like howitzers and etc. This is mortars as well. So you can imagine how numerous mortars are. So for the fact that we're thousands and thousands above them in terms of actual total numbers is quite damning for them. AFV numbers continue to rise. We do have 7,233. Obviously, only 6,944 are ready for action at this moment in time. We do have a couple in repair. So let's take a look at Germany. Right, so these are our actives. Okay. So this is what we currently have in production then. So we do have a couple of these Panzer T-34Bs. A decent amount, really. Not a bad amount at all. The Tigers, I do need to have them redeployed somewhere. So they're currently in the 2nd Panzer Army, which is down over here. So I could have that redeployed elsewhere, which I think I will do. Though we need to have a reason to do it. They are very valuable at this time. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to have that... see, we have the 628 Siege Mortar as well. So what we're going to do then is we're going to have these redeployed. Now the issue is... automatic deployment of resources. So I need to turn that off. Red HQs. Yeah, so support units. Support level, that's what I'm looking for. So I could have that turned down. Well, this is it. I could try to lock it. Never mind, we'll keep it here just so we know where it is. Right, so we have a few more construction battalions and a labour detachment. We should have those deployed, really. Yeah, would definitely help out around here, too. Can I have them deployed to any other Panzer Army? I mean, we do need to be wary here. I mean, this area is going to be cut off from supply rather quickly during the winter coming. I mean, we are rapidly approaching winter. I mean, we're in October now, but things will start getting pretty bad. So I'd like to take Gorky. And then I think at Gorky we might consider having a halt and potentially establishing positions, building up logistics behind our lines. Now this rail line has been cut over here. Yeah, this is the one that needs a lot of work. Let's see, can we deploy the labour detachments to the northern Panzer armies? Whatever their headquarters are. Okay. There we go, 4th Panzer Army. Wow, okay. Apparently I've been missing out on quite a few of these. Oops. My bad. There we go, at least we'll have those assigned now. That's good news. Okay, so we'll make sure this pocket works. It's a little... It's not bad. It's not terrible anyway. Just a little bit light in places. I just want to lock it down, make sure that we get this. Okay, so that's a north lockdown. There's only really the gap here and a gap here, but I don't think they have anything in the area that could really do much. So we're alright for that moment. Okay, so we're going to launch an offensive over here, try to just push them back, try to make them a little... then again, do we need to? No, I don't think we need to bother wasting the material. We'll just advance up over here, which will force them to retreat regardless. Go between the two villages over here. Right, I can push that back so we can free up a unit. Just push this so we can get another division in here. Right, move you between the two villages. Okay, what can I deploy over here? Nothing to the actual headquarters, but to the airfield we could probably... Yeah, we do have some transports actually. Right, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go info, we're going to go to production, we're going to look for the actual transport. Oh, the ME 323, those things are huge. Like, these things are absolutely colossal. We don't have any yet. I'm looking forward to when we do those, it'll be pretty damn awesome. Do we get an idea of how much it can carry? Not particularly. I'd imagine a lot though. They are very expensive though to build. And the Geo 244. Okay, so the vast majority are in the 4th. We do have some in National Reserve over here. What we could probably do we're doing is actually really thinking about where we want them. Yeah, a good amount of our transports are over here. And who's that benefiting? Not really anybody. So I'm going to have these redeployed to reserve. If I can remember how. How you doing there, tank? I actually can't recall how you changed them over at this point in time. That's a boo-boo. Anyway, we'll be able to figure that one out in the future. We do have something in the National Reserve I can have moved down here. Yeah, we've been really lacking on those planes. Get those in there. I'll be able to drop some fuel off. Not much there, dude. Just trying to remember how you actually reassign planes, like reassign squadrons. I legitimately can't remember. Oh well. Onwards and upwards. It'll come back to me at some point. Right then. Now this is something of a fort. Yeah, it's, I'm wanting to put them back into National Reserve, I just can't remember how you do it. I legitimately can't remember. Return components. No, I don't want to do that. I forgot how you do it. I'll have to have a look at that. Okay. Is it because they moved? Right, fair enough. Good, the city's fallen. Right, so the city of Mirom is a good point to have. We just need to work on the logistics to the city here. And that'll be a good strong point for us, especially the fact that it's on a riverbank as well is going to make it very defensible. Not that I'm really expecting much in the way of counter-offensives. But we never know. Yeah, I'll do a one on the west stream soon enough. I think I should be able to get one on the east finished off soon enough. It depends really what people want. Do they want a complete and utter victory? So at this point we have won the game. We would have won the game in a normal scenario. At this point it is just legitimately destroying everything. I might hold a vote, see what people think. Okay, that's a strong point of resistance over there. Yeah, there's not enough offensive power there. I should be able to break through here. Apparently that has no combat value. First time I've seen something like that. Interesting. Okay, that's much better. So we have a good amount of air power over here. We do need to have that redeployed. Frankly, I could pull back from the north. It would not make a damn difference. I could pull back the Volga here. In terms of actual cities, there's nothing really here. I mean, we do have Volgoda, but very marginal. Very, very marginal. I think we will consider pulling back to this sort of point here. I think that would make a good defensive line. I could just pull back to the other side of the swamps. We have the heavy forest over here in the north. The Finns are close to their own border. There's nothing really... I mean, we do have that other city there. Okay. We need to start moving troops out. So I think we'll have the 16th hold on here in the north. Though I could start to have the 16th deploy into the new defensive positions. The 18th is far closer. The Finns could pull back to those new positions fairly quickly. Okay. We'll get the panzers out of the way first, and then we'll be able to sort things out properly. Yeah. Well, the rail line is down anyway at this moment in time. Okay. We'll move them to Yaroslavl. Obviously that's cost us a decent amount in fuel, but we can have them on refit. At this point I just want to get them moving. Totenkopf will be withdrawn soon enough. Okay. At least that's 4th Panzer Army over here now. Have them on refit. And refit. So then we'll begin the slow withdrawal, I think. Now we have these elements of Finnish cause, which frankly we could work very well with. Okay. New to the series, things not going well in the Soviet Union, getting pushed back. No, I mean, we've captured, we have Moscow, which is far behind lines. We have Leningrad. Sevastopol is surrounded. We're pushing on Baku. Things are more or less over for the Soviets. Stalingrad has fallen. We have a great disparity of numbers here. We have more tanks than they do, we have more artillery than they do, we have more men than they do. They only have more planes than we do. We've just surrounded a great number of forces over here. We've just taken the city of Saratov. We are advancing on Kubayshev. Only the winter will slow us down. Gorky should fall soon enough. We're just thinking about withdrawals in the north, just because it's not worth having troops there. Okay. Let's get the Finns set up. I mean, it's a nice river line here, I'm not gonna lie. It's just the fact I don't want to be holding... Because if I have to hold this, I'm going to have to hold it at a weird angle. I'd rather have something approximating a straight line. But what we'll start doing is we'll start working on that line with these troops. Yeah, indeed. Okay. We'll have these forces reassigned, ideally not to the High Command, but rather to the actual field command over here. The 4th Corps. There we go, the 4th Finnish Corps. Lovely jubbly. Right, we do have this German infantry division over here. The 215th does need to be assigned. What numbers are we... Oh, not that one. What numbers are we looking at with the 16th and 18th? Righto, let's go. So, turn that off. No, there we go. Right, army. German. So the 18th Army is the strongest army here at 599,000 men, just under 600,000 men in total, though they are suffering quite heavily with the command points over here. So we do have a quite large issue. So we have General Joseph Harp, 159 victories, 93 defeats, but I mean, to be fair, he did have a hell of a job trying to take Leningrad. So did the commander of the 16th Army, Mr. General Field Marshal Ernst Busch, 437 victories, 204 defeats. Yeah, he's remained in command of the 16th Army since 1941. Not the most superbly skilled general, but still, not bad. Okay. Now we do have a good few troops here, so we should be able to deploy. So the reason why I'm pulling back is just purely to establish a more logistically sensible, well, from a logistics point of view, sensible line. So I'm just going to pull back to the south here, just hold it for the moment in time. Interception there. Okay, you are over your command point capacity. That is the Karelian field army, well, Finnish army. Finnish High Command can go over to the rail lines. Though, frankly, we'd need to have these lines linked up. There we go. Where is this? Right, you're over here. So we'll have them change over to the Karelian. They shouldn't be able to get by that. There we go. Much better. Okay. We should hold on to this rail line here. The issue is, if I surrender the rail line, it's going to be cut up to here as well. So I think we'll hold on to this rail line until we have it connected up over on this side. Then at least we're not going to lose everything just because we moved out. So we'll do that. I can pull back to the rail line though. In fairness, I have enough troops here just to cover the movement to the 18th. have a reserve. Actually, I could have that in this city there. Oh yeah, the vehicle pool is legit. It is... Yeah, there's only 4,529 vehicles in repair. There's no problem there. Okay, we need to have these HQs worked out. To be fair, we did have the push from Romania, which was a suggestion by viewer. And that was a very good idea. Push via the rail lines over here. I, having one of the FBD groups, re-signed down to this front. Okay, so things are looking a little bit sharper. Let's see, let's work this out. And this is a fantastic choke point. We'll rectify that in time. It's not a perfect solution at the moment, but we'll work it out. We're going to be withdrawing away from this line soon enough. Okay, these elements of 3rd Panzer Army. How that types the 16th. Okay. So I should keep probably a core around this area. Okay. So we'll have these forces as well reassigned. Right, we'll just begin moving the troops out. So we have a major... Well, these are the major arteries over here. Lots of logistics over here. But we'll start moving it down to this area. There we go. I mean, there's a good amount of men and material. What we'll do then is we'll have these forces parceled out, so I could have like a couple divisions sent to different armies just to boost their strength, try to bring it to a uniform strength, well, level of strength in the different armies. And we could always have them committed to the Panzer armies to act as their, well, offensive power. And the Panzers obviously have great offensive power, but they are not very effective without infantry. More importantly, they can't hold the flanks really without infantry. We'll have these deployed to Gorky. I could use the Jaegers. Put the refit on these troops then. Let's have a look for our most distinguished commanders if I can find that out. So we've only lost 2 commanders actually. Ground only. Interesting. Okay. So we'll go by ranks. So General Field Marshals have had marshals. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 General Field Marshals. I mean, looking at victories here. 720 victories, 362 defeats. So von Rundstedt has had a good number of victories there. The most defeats, but the most victories. The highest initiative is Kesselring von Manstein and Guderian. To be expected. Infantry. Model. So he's by far the best infantry commander that we have in the Wehrmacht. That's actually a, interesting thing to know. Actually is interesting. Let's take a look at him. General Oldburst. He's actually a very good commander. Okay. Interesting. No, we do have a castle ring. We'll have the prior viewed commander. We'll have him assigned to an army group potentially in the future. We'll have to see how the situation develops. Okay. Things are okay down here in the south. The north has been sorted to a degree. Number of forces out on refuge, just need to deal with partisans. I'm going to beef this Panzer army up. We're going to have 3 Panzer armies in the south, we're going to have 1 in the north. So I need to beef this one up. That one's going to be our reactionary. Still interesting to note that this was really the area where the war changed. The Panzer push just to the north, which destabilized that entire defensive line over here, and put the Red Army into a retreat. Not many partisans at this point. In fact, I don't really see any of those. Okay, the vault doesn't work. We'll see how we get on then. See now, if they stay off the rail line, I should be able to advance there. But I do think they had another unit behind here. I do want that port. Mostly to prevent the withdrawal of the forces at Sevastopol. But again, if they do withdraw, I do take the city of Sevastopol. So you win some, you lose some. And the side of the Caucasus is actually cut off from the rest of the Soviet Union. So no matter what they do, they are still going to be cut off. You can see the Soviets here are struggling with their vehicle pool. I'm not surprised really, the vast majority of their industry has been taken. And obviously they have the industry in the Urals, which I'd imagine still makes up a good chunk of that industry. It's a shame we don't have any strategic bombers. I might have range to hit it with mediums, but I'd probably lose a good number of planes. And for very little gain, really. I'm just waiting for the bad weather to set in, to be fair. So we'll establish our new defensive line, start digging in. Okay. Do we have any indication when the poor weather is going to come? Right, so see the forecast here is mud, so this is when the bad weather starts to set in. So really, if we're going to do anything offensive, it's going to have to be done this turn and this turn only. We could make it to the city over here. Though, it's one of those things, do we make it to the city and run a risky gauntlet of not having the logistics or the amount of troops to back us up? Or do we then wait a year, potentially, for us to reach Kabaishav? And we have just cut off a great number of troops over here, so these troops can be destroyed. These can be destroyed. Right, more partisans. Fuel's really the issue down here. Once we tidy up these units over here... Ah, we did have some of our own forces actually cut off. Interesting. Though they're only Italian and Hungarian, but the Hungarian troops are by far superior. Okay. We'll use the Romanian troops over here. Yeah, there's just nothing there. Just seems as though they've just been completely starved. 3 of the panzers. They're being reluctant. Let's see what we can manage. Dislodge them from supply. See, another thing as well is I'd like to cut this rail line. I mean, frankly, there's only this one rail line that supplies this, so yeah. We'll have to take this. Yeah, that's surely going to improve morale. Get a bit of support in there. Only 33 tanks. And the good thing is from all the AFVs that we've ideally captured, should be able to get a few more T-34s. Well, Panzer T-34Bs. Okay. So from the forces that were on the Stalingrad front, they've just lost 173,000 men. Not a huge amount compared to what we've taken in the past, but still good amount. Good amount. Importantly, they've lost over 1,000 armored fighting vehicles, another 2,558 guns. So it's definitely taken a toll, that's for damn sure. Yeah. Almost double the amount of armored fighting vehicles now as the Soviets. And there's still a few more forces to wipe out. Bloody Italians. Have a division form up. God damn it. That's caused some issues. Okay. Interesting. So they've redeployed forces to Gorky, which is understandable. It's a very important city. Seems like they moved a lot of that production, but there's still a lot of supply there. There's a good amount of population. It's one of the largest cities left in the Soviet Union. I think really if we're going to make a push here, we need to be able to make a push here, but the thing is we don't have the logistics to be able to do that. We don't have a logistical backbone. Okay. I mean, these forces here, is it 4th Panzer Army could be committed to the Gorky offensive, which is honestly, that's overkill. There's far too many panzers there for really what's even required. The infantry can get that done, they just need to have sufficient numbers. And we can always give them a couple of divisions from the 18th to be able to carry out that mission. The forces here will form a tighter defensive line, so our logistics will improve. And yep, the mud is going to kick in, and the mud is going to kick in hard. So yeah, these forces over here are going to struggle a hell of a lot. So we need to do what damage we can do this turn and really hope we can make it to Baku. The good thing is though, they aren't going to be receiving reinforcements. Might as well capture that town. There's a couple extra forces here. Get rid of what we can. Captured the city, well, the town, I should say. Some very strong forces there. Well, defensively anyway. Yeah, those mountains are going to make things hell. Good. The city of Grozny has fallen, which is very important. Fuel and oil production here. Also vast amounts of fuel and supply. Oil too. So that's going to keep the offensive rolling. Need to wipe that out. Yeah, that defensive position's hell. Okay. It's going to take us some time to be able to push onto Baku. I just need the forces. We do have the Panzer Army freed up over here. What we'll do then is basically... I I need the transport aircraft really sent down here so we can have fuel flown in down here. The mud, I don't know if it'll affect us down here. I think it probably will do. I'd imagine so. Though this doesn't seem to count actually, so I think we should be okay. I think we should still be able to keep on advancing. We'll have to see how things turn out. In which case, Baku would eventually fall. And with it, all of that is going to be beautiful. They still have that rail connection over there, which is going to save them. Otherwise, I would have been able to cut it there and would have really just put another bullet in their head. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm out of time for today, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again soon in the future. So, again, thank you for watching, and do remember to come back for more. Thank you, and goodbye. Have a great day, or evening, whatever you are, whatever you're doing. See you all very, very soon, guys.